They're dropping a bunch of these move the trailer. Oh God, here's another one. Okay, adjustable pickup time. I know this is what's screwing me up right here. Let's change this one to 11. Book. Book. Yes. Unbelievable. I got 2 of them. Here's the screen. I can't make this crap up. What am I doing checking in with you when it's still daylight? The sun's not even down. It is 4:12. This new time change is kind of messing with me a little bit. I wanted to come up and do a real thorough check on the truck. Haven't ran for Amazon in a couple of days. Been running for somebody else. And I checked the truck pretty well each time, but like, you know, with Amazon I have, and maybe it's not an irrational fear, I just know that if I make a mistake with them, they're a very unforgiving system. So, you know, I want to come up here and be sure that, like, let's just say like tire number 4 had a nail in it somewhere between like 5 and 7 o'clock that I didn't notice last time, and it's been slowly leaking for the last couple of days. When I did my post trip last time, let's say it was fine, but today enough air's out of it to where I have a flat tire and need to go get that repaired. I don't want to find that out. So I just, you know, came up here to the truck, did a real thorough pre-trip on it just to be sure that the truck is ready to go. Kind of drove it around the neighborhood just once, be sure no lights come on, checked everything. I just want to be sure that, you know, if I book a load later, that I have the confidence to I mean, something still could happen, but if you know, if I had just booked a load and came up to the truck and found the flat tire then, and I don't have a flat tire. It's a hypothetical situation, but if had I not done what I've just done, I would bear obviously some responsibility in that. Obviously, if something happens to the truck, I still bear some responsibility in this, but at least this way I can say, and I know in my heart that, like, I've given this 100% and I've done everything I can. I did want to show you. Let me turn the screen record on just so you know. I sometimes feel it like in some of these, you know, like I could see where somebody might think like, oh, I have all this wonderful stuff booked and I'm getting ready to bamboozle you with the night I have. If we go to my trips right now and we look at it, my upcoming trips is no trips to show, no trips to show. So I have nothing. I've cast a couple nets. I've responded to some spot capacity. Phone lines are open. I'm gonna go and my whole family's at home right now. We're actually gonna go out to dinner. So I just wanted to do this kind of, you know, check in with the truck, show you there's no shenanigans going on with these trips. What's got me interested, if we go to the load board here, I don't want to turn this into a relay rates, but you know, you start looking at some of these rates. They've got they had some on here, although I'm not seeing them now. They had some earlier, huh? Maybe somebody booked them. Earlier today, there was some decent loads going up to like Ontario, Paris, East Vale, Jurupa Valley, that type of stuff. They were on there for like $6, $7 a mile. My thought is, if they're showing that and those are available at this time of the day, what's gonna happen tonight? Checking back in with you here at 8:09. Just came back from a wonderful meal. The whole family was off tonight, and we went down, we checked out this place. It's been on our radar for a while to try. Louisiana Purchase, down off of University and I believe Louisiana Street, down there in kind of like University, or not University City, like North Park area, that type of stuff. Absolutely delicious. We kind of ate family style, got the catfish, got the wings, got some sort of ribeye that was like smothered in crawfish. I mean, I'm not going to change this into a food vlog, but I love me some food. I'm a foodie inside. Just so you know, there's no shenanigans going on here. I still have nothing. And you might say like, well, why check in with us? Why check in with you? And I'd like to show kind of the logistics of how these nights go down. I don't, you know, I could go make these decisions in the truck. I also could make them out at dinner with my family. I can make them on the way home, that type of stuff like this. I can do it from home. Physically where I'm at right now, I could be to any location here in town within like 60 minutes. But as far as, you know, my trips queue, upcoming trips, there still is nothing. Let's let this thing refresh. It's taking a minute here. Oh, you know what? I think it's trying to connect to my house Wi-Fi, and I'm a little bit far from there. Let's take that off of house Wi-Fi. Yeah, no trips to show you what I'm looking at right now. I mean, they've got some decent ones on here, but the problem is it scares me when they start putting those multi-trip things on here. There's a bunch of like 3-4 trips that are kind of far away, and how I see that turning out is, let's see here, O-type power only. If they don't need me at a stop, they're going to start reducing that payout. I've talked about it in the past. I don't like that. I don't have to like it. I have to abide by it. But yeah, they let's just turn this auto refresh off. So they've got a Bakersfield 314, HSD2 to Manteca $1.47. Not going to do that. 243 to run up to Moreno Valley, no. Poway to Rialto, 356. I mean, usually I run these for like somewhere between $500 and $600. So am I jumping at $369? I am not. The truck is ready to go, pre-tripped. It's full of def, full of fuel. It is, if they had a great rate going to Denver right now, I could get all the way there and not even have to stop for fuel. So I mean, I'm kind of locked and loaded, ready to go. I need these rates to come up a little bit to entice me to start my night. All right, still sitting down here at the pool, figuring stuff out. They just dropped this one. I feel foolish going out for $250, but I'm kind of curious to see what I can build it into. It's this little Sand 5, one pick, one stop. I like ending up at DSD1. Let's see if I can book that. That starts here in a couple hours. All right, the little car needed gas. I could take care of it in the morning, but I subscribe to the train of thought of like, I put off to tomorrow what I could do right now, today. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this. The battery cut out on the GoPro when I was recording earlier. Ended up booking that load. It's gonna go from Sand 5 up to DSD1. It's a one pick, one stop, which I like. Night's kind of taking shape here a little bit. What I like about it is it's going to put me in theory up at DSD1 right around midnight. And if history's taught me anything, I suspect that either DSD1, DSD8, DSD4, or DSD5, kind of in that little area there, northern part of San Diego, I suspect that one of those locations will have an empty coming back to like the Otay area, and then that'll be load number 2. I'm kind of making a prediction here as far as, you know, do I think that'll happen? It's 8:52, so it's just the only load I have booked right now. If this sounds terrible to you, like, I mean, in theory, could I be going out tonight for just $250? I could. And if this sounds absolutely miserable to you, I would highly talk you out of trying to do the Amazon Relay load board. If you want more of a guaranteed thing, they have blocks, they have contracts. I've just always opted and always kind of felt like I fared better with the load board. But right now, heading out for that one load, I got to get to the truck. I washed it earlier, so I need to do the glass, and I need to grease up my fifth wheel. But just filling up the little car with gas and heading to the truck next.
The place looked real rough. It was full of scuffs. The outside walls had carved in names and holes. There was broken glass.
All right, truck is full of fuel. Truck is clean. Not gonna win prettiest truck at the truck show, but it's cleaner than I usually keep it. Glass is good. Fifth wheel is greased up. I will tell you, if you get into trucking, you're okay, Lou. If you get into trucking like I was, no. Absolutely not. If you get into trucking and you don't know a lot, absolutely get you some gloves. They help with, you know, if you're gonna have to grease up that fifth wheel. When you get diesel, I kind of like to have my own to put on. I will tell you, and I feel foolish starting out by saying this, obviously I am not sponsored by these people, but these Venom Steel industrial gloves, these things, I got them at the Costco Business Center. These are the best gloves I've ever used. On the inside of them, they have this little liner. I always hate how gloves feel on the inside of my hands. They have this little liner. It doesn't really bother me. And keep in mind, I've been wearing gloves most of my adult life. I mean, in pharmacy, I wore them all the time to give like vaccines and that type of stuff. These have been, I mean, these are like game changers for me. I like sharing stuff with you from like a customer point of view, not from like a advertisement point of view. These people don't even know who I am. Highly satisfied with their product. Good gloves. Let's see, gonna start this trip. I'm due down there at 10:15. It's right now 9:28. They're telling me new stuff about ROC. That's great. Yes, acknowledge. Let's just be sure. I know I can get it down there in 45 minutes, but let's just see what this thing says. The other thing I wanted to bring up, I've been talking about, like, you know, kind of going on this get back to fitness level and everything. One of my friends, Damon, I've mentioned Damon before. We met up at DUR9. He's the first YouTube trucker I actually ran into. His channel is Running Wild with Milwaukee Buck. I'll put a link to it. Anyway, we've become friends throughout this whole thing. And proceed to route. Proceed to route. I know where to go. This has me getting there at 9:57. So let's screenshot that. I'll share that with you. He's been paying attention to me, kind of talking about getting back into this fitness, weight loss, everything. He asked me a question today. He calls me up and he's like, "Hey, what do you carry water in?" And I'm like, you know, I I don't, and I know my problem. I know my shortcoming is I love to live off of these sugary little delicious drinks that these truck stops sell, and that's, my issue is not really food, my issue is drink. And so he was kind enough, he sent this to my house, and I gotta give a shout out to him. This thing's like a 64 ounce. I love it, it holds ice. He sent this to me. I mean, it was just like, I'm never gonna like solicit donations, solicit gifts, that's not in my nature, but he did this out of the kindness of his heart, and I really appreciate it. So, got plenty of cold water in here on my way. You'd think I'd be smart enough to do that on my own, apparently not. So, Damon, thank you for my water carrier. All right, let's get checked into Sand 5. I'd be a little disappointed. I know they were installing the screen one of the last few times I was here, so I have no doubt I'm going to be talking to the screen. Let's grab this arrival successfully detected. One thing I forgot to show you, when we left El Cajon, I had fueled up. We were at 1.6 gallons. It takes me about 2 gallons to get here. So we're starting the night with 3.7 gallons of fuel burned. We'll see where it goes. They're dropping a lot of tasty stuff, I'm not gonna lie. They've got a, let's see here. Got a couple little third-party site going down to TIJ5 at like $26 a mile. They've got 3 of those. I suspect, my hesitation in booking that is, $25 a mile is cool, but it's going to take up about probably 2.5 to 3 hours of time on like a $200 payout, and it could take longer than that. So that's kind of my hesitation in that. I kind of weigh my time as well as like with the payout. I like $1 per mile. I don't like how long that those sometimes take. They've got a couple on here. I mean, here's an SCA4 going up to Chino, $5.01 a mile, $1,000 payout. One pick, one stop, $4.96 going up to Santa Fe Springs. Just grab some screenshots of these to show you. So I might have picked a good night to come out, but right now I'm an ineligible driver until I finish this DSD1 load. So I'm going to get that one knocked out. Looks like it's my turn to talk to the screen. I'm going to go talk to them now. I am not going to lie, I have never seen DSD1 look like this before. Usually that big gate is open. I think they want us, got my seal in there barking at me. I think they may want us to check in here at this door. I'm gonna head over to this door, see what's going on, see if this is the new spot to check in. Did pick up another load. Let me get checked in here. I'll tell you all about it. All right, load number 2 on the night. Amazon calls me a lot. I'm always trying to like be kind to these people on the phone, trying to network with them, trying to set up like, you know, hey, do you do Chime, all this kind of stuff. So they do give me quite a few calls, and usually I have like a pretty good working relationship with some people who will like call me on a regular basis and be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And there's some nights where clearly I try to win, but then there's nights like tonight where they called me up. They're like, hey, we got a little SCA4 going down to like back to Sand 5, which I was gonna do anyway. It's an empty move, and then take a trailer up to Poway. The reason I think that's important is because I have no doubt that I probably, like if I were in a wheeling and dealing type of mood, I probably could have gotten this load for like 500, because it's a guy I work with like on a regular basis. You know, he calls me often, that type of stuff. There's some nights where I kind of like to let them win too. And, you know, one of the things I factor in on these loads is deadhead. And if you look on a map, I was just dropping off at DSD1. I'm now at one of those sites that kind of goes by 2 acronyms. You can look it up either as like SCA7 or maybe it's SCA4. I forget. It's the one across the street from DSD1. There's like a, I think it's like SCA7 or SCA4, and then the other one is VCA4. There's one of those is down in Otay. It's the one that's up here in Carmel Mountains. So, you know, to tell me that like, hey, my next load has like a 1/4 mile of deadhead to it, I'm gonna factor that into the price. And so, kind of made him a deal on it. Said I'd do it for $400. I'd hate to be the one. I'd hate for people to think that I'm the one out here keeping these rates down, but $400 I could live with. I was going to deadhead down there anyway, so just got to take one from here down there, and then from there up to Poway and see what else is dropping and start looking for that load number 3. All right, finishing up load number 2 here at DSD8. I'm just waiting for somebody to pull out. I've got a dock door. I want to give them room to get out of here. Load number 3. The whole way up here I was paying attention to, they had these empty moves going from DSD1 back down to Sand 3. The problem is the whole way up here they were set to leave at 4:12. That would have been cutting it too close. It's right now 4:03. So had I booked them for then, I for sure would have been late. DSD 8 to DSD 1 is probably 10 miles or less. So as soon as they bumped the time back to 5:12, I went ahead and booked it. It's a solid move for a couple reasons. One, the fact that it's an empty move and it was ready at 4:12, I know that when I get there early, I know it's going to be ready to go. I know they're not going to have me wait till my scheduled departure time to do it. The other thing too is, let's say I get there and they don't have trailers. Let's say it's a false one or something like that. That's cool too. You know, I think I'm getting like a little over $200 to do the actual move, or $175 to do nothing. So I just see it as a win-win. It's just a perfect little end. Maybe it is the end, maybe it's not. A perfect little way for me to potentially end this night. But just got to get this trailer at dock door 114 and head on over to DSD 1. All right, so it was 12 miles of deadhead from DSD 8 over here to DSD 1. Just got checked in. I got a 5:57 departure time, and guess what? They don't have a trailer, which actually I don't really care, because like right now my option is the load goes through. I think I make like a little over $200 for driving the 40 some odd miles back down to San 3, San 5, I forget which one it's going to. So that's with doing the work. If they cancel the thing, it's $175. So, I mean, if I had a preference at this point, I kind of hope I get the Tonu. I don't really care if they have a trailer or not. So I'm going to wait till 5:57 and see what's going on. So the load went through. They ended up getting me a trailer up at DSD 1. You're a good boy, Lou. I am down here in the parking lot of San 3. As the sun's coming up, got the $1,000 question here, and it is quite literally the $1,000 question. Do I want to break $1,000 tonight? I mean, right now they've got these little, let me turn on the screen record here. You're such a good boy, Lou. Right now they've got these little DSD 4 moves coming back to San 5. It would put me over $1,000, but here's my dilemma. I could go home the 125, call it a day. It's been a good night. I mean, none of this stuff was booked. You were with me. You saw it. Like, all this kind of just came throughout the night. I could be home in 45 minutes. Or the way I'd have to get to DSD 4, I'd have to commit. I mean, there's no way I would book one of these right now. I don't know. I know what part of the traffic looks like. I don't know what the other traffic looks like. And the last thing I want to do is be late to it. So it's just like, the dilemma I have is like, do I want to go home? Lou, you're killing me. You are killing me. But you're a good boy. You're such a good boy. Do I want to go home, call it a night, or do I want to start driving that way? You're the only one that makes noises like this. Do I want to start driving that way without booking it, with the risk of, you know, somebody else might book it? And how pissed would I be if I'm halfway there and they move the trailer across the street? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm torn at it. I could definitely go, you know, book these, but I just, you know, could I be there in an hour and 6 minutes? I can't commit to that. I'm not willing to risk my grade over that right now. Speaking of grade, in case this is it, let's just go in here. Let's go to scorecard. Let's be sure we hit all the marks last night. Don't care about the last 6 weeks. We care about what we did last night. Lou, I'm gonna be with you so shortly. You're something else. It was weekly, apply, on time 100, acceptance 100, app usage 100, disruption free 100. So good to go on that. I got some decisions to make. I'll check back in with you and let you know what I did. Honest to God, I can't make this stuff up. I'll show you where I'm at. I just left San 3 is there. I pulled over here on the side of the freeway. I didn't want to commit to getting on the 125. This is like the 11. The 125 is like a half mile down that way. I didn't want to commit to it. I was really thinking hard about going to that DSD 4 spot. I was thinking about it, but then I was like, you know what? I hate that Amazon's moved that down to the minimum. Like, their minimum used to be 200. Then they went down to 190, 180. Now they're in the 170s. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to feed into that. Yes, that puts me over $1,000, but no, I don't want to. That's a load that I would book that, like circumstantially, like if I were driving by there, would I pick it up? 100% I would. Do I want to go out of my way to go get it? Let me just see this. This might actually, I might do something else right here. Let's see, adjustable pickup time. God, can I do this in time? Let's do that for 11 o'clock and book it. Confirm booking. Ah, it's changed. Somebody got it. They're dropping a bunch of these move the trailer. Oh God, here's another one. Okay, adjustable pickup time. I know this is what's screwing me up right here. Let's change this one to 11. Book. Book. Yes. Unbelievable. I got 2 of them. Here's the screen. I can't make this crap up. Okay, so what happened is, I'm not even gonna mess with anymore if they drop any more. I was sitting here just gonna go home, and I'm like excited right now. I gotta calm down. I gotta breathe. I was gonna go home, and I said before, I'm gonna wait, maybe they'll drop one of those trailers across the streets. They just dropped a whole bunch of them. I think they dropped 4 of them. I got 2 of them. I was able to adjust the pickup times here. Let's go to trips and see. Let me turn the screen record on. So I have one that starts at 8:48 and ends at 9:23. They're empty moves from Sand 5 to Sand 3. And then I have another one that is starting at 11. Let's see how fast I can knock these out. You know what I wasn't accounting for? Sand 5 switched to the screen. So when I set that other one up for 11 o'clock, I was thinking I was going to come on here and be like, and be sure you know which loads can be dropped off early. I'm wrong. I am wrong. The first one across the street is done. I went ahead and started the second one thinking, you're a good boy, thinking like, oh, it'll be no problem. It's just an empty move. They let me do this. I've done this 3, 4, 5 hours ahead of schedule in the past. It's a screen now, and I'm being held to the screen standard. And I got to wait till 11 o'clock to, or actually 11 o'clock's my check-in. I got to wait 1 more hour before I can check in to move this other one. So I was thinking I was going to have these done. Lou, I know you are a good boy. We're going to go for a walk. Yeah, I gotta live by the screen standard now. So I'm not due back here until 9. I was thinking I'd get these done sooner, but I'm not going to. This is gonna be it. I think it was less than 12 hours ago. I was sitting at my pool telling you I have nothing booked, and here I am gonna have to wait an hour for this other one. That's fine with me. I'll wait an hour for it, but gonna get it done. 5 total loads on the night. I'll break down the numbers at the end. I know people are always interested in like the fuel consumption. We are at, seems a little dusty, we are at 27.3 gallons burned. I'll break it all down in the end, but I guarantee I take this trailer across the street and get back to the yard in 30 gallons or less. So, as always, hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you taking the trip with me. Take care.